In 2025 so far, if you put $10,000 into the stock market, you'd have made about $1,400. Good return, right? Gold, around $2,500. Real estate, it's pretty modest. But if you had put that same $10,000 into Bitcoin, you'd have made roughly $12,300. That's almost 9 times what stocks delivered. And yet, 95% of middle class investors still don't own Bitcoin. Today, I'm breaking down the numbers that Wall Street rarely shows you. What's going on, everybody? I'm Mr. Bitcoin Maxi, a U.S. military veteran, and now I'm on a mission to help middle class families protect and grow their wealth in an era of monetary debasement. Now, here's the truth: the traditional investment playbook, stocks, bonds, real estate, and gold, was built for people who are already wealthy. Now, for the middle class, we need asymmetric returns. We need assets that can create wealth. We need Bitcoin. Now, by the end of this video, you'll see the exact 2025 data so far, understand why Bitcoin keeps outperforming, and know how to build your own portfolio for 2026. So let's get started. So let's look at the real numbers so far in 2025. No hype, just facts. Stocks. Let's talk about the S&P 500. Now, the market is up around 14.5% this year. $10,000 became about $11,450. That's solid, above average, but here's the problem. To make a $100,000 profit from a 14% gain, you need to invest roughly $700,000. How many middle-class families have that kind of cash just sitting around? Now, gold has been one of the strongest traditional assets this year, up roughly 25 to 30%. $10,000 became around $12,500. Now, gold actually did its job, preserving purchasing power, but it's not a wealth creator. Preservation is not transformation. Now, the middle class needs growth, okay? Let's talk about real estate. Now, the real estate returns have been very modest. Most indexes show only a few percent growth as high interest rates continue to crush affordability and limit appreciation. $10,000 became maybe $10,300. And that's before property taxes, maintenance, and insurance. Real estate used to be the safe investment, but in 2025, it's been more of a wealth trap. Now look at Bitcoin year to date. Now Bitcoin is up around 20 to 30%. $10,000 became about 12,300, and that's on top of a 120% surge the year before in 2024. Bitcoin continues to outperform nearly every other major asset class. But here's what most financial advisors won't tell you. Traditional assets are designed for wealth preservation. Bitcoin is designed for wealth creation. Reason number one, accessibility. You can buy $50 of Bitcoin today. Try buying $50 of real estate. Try building meaningful stock exposure with $50. Now, Bitcoin is the first asset class where small investors can truly participate. A middle-class family putting $500 a month into Bitcoin stacks about 0.0045 Bitcoin per month at the time of recording this video. If Bitcoin hits $500,000 in a few years, that small, consistent effort could be worth over $250,000. Reason number two, no middleman. Now, stocks need brokerages, trading platforms, and market hours. Real estate needs agents, lenders, and inspectors, and lawyers. Everyone takes ultimately a cut. Gold has storage, shipping, and insurance costs. Bitcoin, you buy it directly, hold it yourself. And you don't need permission from ultimately anybody. Reason number three, fixed supply versus infinite printing. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin, ever. Meanwhile, governments can print trillions of dollars at will. Every dollar devalues the ones already in your pocket. Now look at the money supply chart. It's almost vertical since 2020. Bitcoin is the exit ramp from that system. It's the life raft while the dollar Titanic keeps taking on water. Now let's keep it real. Bitcoin is volatile, no denying that, okay? In 2025, it's had months with 20 to 30% swings. Stocks maybe move 5 to 10% in the same time. That volatility scares people, but here's the key. Volatility is the price you pay for asymmetric returns. Now, you want the chance to double or triple your money, you accept short-term turbulence. Now, I want you all to ask yourselves, what's riskier, temporary volatility or guaranteed loss through inflation and dollar debasement? Inflation silently eats 7 to 10% of your wealth each year. Your safe savings account earning 4% is still losing buying power. That's guaranteed loss. Bitcoin's volatility is optional risk. Inflation is mandatory loss. So how do you manage it? Don't put your emergency fund in Bitcoin, okay? Don't use money you'll need in 6 months. But for long-term wealth building, the money you want to grow over 5 to 10 years, Bitcoin deserves a place. Now let's get practical, okay? How should a middle class investor think about allocating going into 2026? Let's talk about a conservative plan, ages 50 and up. 40% Bitcoin, 30% stocks, 20% gold. 10% cash or short term bonds. You're closer to retirement, so balance Bitcoin's upside with traditional stability. Now, let's talk about a moderate plan, ages 35 to 50. 60% Bitcoin, okay? 25% stocks, 10% gold, 5% cash. You still want growth, but you can tolerate volatility better than retirees. Now, let's talk about an aggressive plan, ages 20 to 35. 80% Bitcoin, 15% stocks, 5% gold. You've got time on your side, okay? You can ride the ups and downs and capture Bitcoin's long-term upside. Even a small allocation makes a difference. Now, 5% in Bitcoin historically boosts overall portfolio performance while reducing long-term inflation risk. Now, here's the key takeaway, okay? Stocks are up about 14% so far this year. Gold is up around 25 to 30%, and real estate is just completely flat. Bitcoin is up roughly 20 to 30%. Again, outperforming. Now, if you're middle class, you don't have the luxury of massive capital or decades to wait for small single-digit returns. You need asymmetric growth. You definitely need upside potential. Now, I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, okay? Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a guaranteed win for the long term. So for me, as a Bitcoin maximalist, I'm going to put mostly everything into Bitcoin, but that's just me personally. So if you liked this video, please comment on your thoughts and what you think is a good allocation to Bitcoin, gold, stocks, and real estate. I'm Mr. Bitcoin Maxi, and remember, we are all Bitcoin Maxis, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day.